So, what I want to talk to you a little bit today is about correcting your horse and slingshotting your horse. You know, I did a little bit of it with Tamale there, where you saw I had a saddle on her, and I was holding it here, and I was pulling and pulling and pulling, and I just kind of let it go. And I talked about stretching her leg out way behind her, but you never did see me let it go. But I did at an earlier point before the video. So, you know, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. You know, when you shoot a gun, the action of the bullet going out the barrel creates a reaction of recoil back here. See, and that's how I train horses now. But the action is always out the back. The reaction is the horse taking off like a bullet. See, you'll see that I don't do anything. I don't make them run. They're going to run because they're already scared. The thing is, it's that action that happens behind them that I cause gets the horse to do this. Because normally not much happens when a horse takes off. Either they knock somebody over, yeah, somebody falls on the ground, so there's an action to the side of them or something. And, you know, correcting horses that step in close to you. This horse was trained, you know, the way a lot of trainers use a stick, drive the head and neck away. Well, that creates this. What I'm going to tell you here today works equally well with kids. You know, parents that address their child, maybe grab them by the shirt or slap them in the face. The reaction they get from the kid on doing that is this. You know, turning their head so you got this curvature here, which is what I don't want. And because she was trained with that style of driving the head and neck, she does this first, which I don't want, because that creates this curvature back here, which I don't want. So, you know, I'm like a lot of other people. I've had this horse for, oh geez, she's 21 now, and I've had her for 17 and a half years. You would think by now, you know, I've tolerated a lot of this stuff because I was a lot younger then, but I'm getting older, I'm getting tired. And, you know, some people wonder why I've gotten after their horse. It's because of that tension of the horse always wanting to go forward. That's why I don't lunge horses anymore and I don't round pen them. Yes, they're going to go forward, but they will go forward on their own. So I create action back here, which creates, you know, it actually really scares the crap out of a horse. So, and I'll probably have a lot of people commenting on this, you know, those do-gooders and spare the rod and all this crap. Screw that. That's why all these kids are the way they are now. Spare the rod. So what I was talking about, slapping your child in the face, you want to correct a child, you take the side of your foot and give them a good kick in the ass, and you'll get this. So, if your son or daughter or whatever starts walking away from you, and you go, don't do that, I'm talking to you, they'll walk away like this, even if they're still going to walk away. They'll walk away like this because they're afraid of this coming afterward. See, if you address them in the backside, or put the action in the backside, you don't get any negative results out of it. At least I'd rather have a child walk away like this than walk away totally ignore me. So if a horse totally ignores me, meaning that they walk away with their head and neck straight away from me, that action will get directed right at them, and I actually will touch them then. So there's no, people talk about hitting your horse and all this stuff. Well, there's times that when you're around a horse, if they're gonna hurt you, believe me, I'm gonna hurt that horse if I can before it ever hurts me. Only enough so that it's gonna think twice about doing that again around me. So I'll tell you about that. Correcting a horse and people correcting the face with a halter and lead rope. That's the same thing as slapping a child in the face. You get this resentment from them. That's why you get a lot of horses when you're working with them and you're on this side. They tip their head that way and give you this curvature here because they've been corrected so much here. And the other thing about a horse, that's why if I lead my horses, I lead them from here, the rider's position. Most people handle their horses up here. Some people even ignorantly hold the horse really short up here. Uh, I don't like being in this position. For one thing, people don't do enough work on the offside of a horse. So if something happens over there, that horse is going to come this way and bowl you over with his shoulder. I don't ever want to do that. So she may not disbehave or misbehave, because she was misbehaving yesterday. And I said something, I've tolerated some of that stuff because we got a lot of years together. But like I said, I'm getting old and I'm getting tired, and I'm not going to put up with your crap anymore. So I've got her down here in the training pen. She knows something's going on, so she's behaving pretty damn nicely. But as far as that front end, horses that step into you or horses that actually step on your foot, I'll thunk them right here. That's because the horse, she's wanting to back up. No, I don't want you to back up. I want you to keep your feet over there. Yeah. See? So the more you do this, thunk them down there, she's not moving her forehand over, which I really want her to do. So I could always use the shoulder. But I won't use the head and neck because I don't want the head and neck turning away from me. But if I address her shoulder here like this, I'll get that turn. And I'll get it like this because if I had bumped her in the foot enough by now, she would have already started doing this knowing that this is coming. Or a whack on the shoulder is coming. Because, come on. So what? See? What they're doing is they put a lot of weight on this foot. Those are the type of horses that will bowl you over. And when she was young, she would do that, and certainly correcting the head and neck fixed that, but it created this. So I'm going back and fixing a lot of things, and she's pretty damn docile today. But when you're a farrier, there's nothing worse than having a horse that's always wanting to go forward. And even though the owners don't see it, but they're always doing this to you because they want to move that foot forward. It gets to be really a pain in the farrier's back for doing that. And I mean, the other thing I'll do too is, people talk about, like I said, correcting a horse. I'll actually see what happens when but I'll touch her there. I said, don't step towards me. After a while, you do this enough, that horse will look, when you look down that foot, they'll unweight that foot. See, I'm already getting some of this from her because I have been doing some of this with her. But the reason why I take her down here in the pen, because if I do it up there, she's got a lot of acreage that she can avoid me in. She can't avoid me much down in here, and she knows that. So I'm not really expecting her to run off, but she certainly is going to be resistant. But this is certainly not cruel to bump a horse with the back end of your nippers if they've got so much weight on this foot. And see, I can already tell because her shoulders shifted over there that I know that this foot isn't weighted anymore. See? See how fast that happens? Because I looked down at her foot and I picked my foot up and what'd she do? She unweighted that foot even more. She picked it right off the ground. And this is what I like. I want this all the time when I'm on this side of the horse. So with her, when I talk about slingshotting a horse, let me move her up here. So the other thing, because she's always thinking forward because of all that lunging and stuff, she's one of them horses that will do this. When you pick that, there's a lot of tension in that hind leg. So that's why I have the plastic bag in my pocket, because I'm going to slingshot her. If she pulls on me ever so slightly, I'm going to stretch her leg out behind her and let it go. And if she takes off, which she will, a little bit, I'm going to pull this plastic bag and I'm going to have the opposite action back here. Well, some people will say, well, you're scaring the horse. No, the horse is already scared because I let go of her foot because she was pulling my foot. So she's already gone. She already started to leave. And that's what gets people in trouble when horses react, because they're like kids that never suffered any consequences from their bad behavior. So now she's going to get some consequences for it. So you watch when she picks her foot up, she leaves it forward. And see, there's tension on it right now, so I'm going to take it right back here like this and say, I'll just let it go. And if the bag had come out of my pocket correctly, I would have flapped it in the breeze. Now get over here. See, she won't do any running around like I said. She understands she's down here in the pen, and she knows the catching game. So she will catch for me. Come here. See, she'll come to me now. And what she's been doing, when I pulled out my farrier tools yesterday, because she's the boss hoss around here, she's been driving Indy off saying, oh, he wants to trim our feet, let's get out of Dodge. No. Come here. So I got sick of that, and I played the catching game with the two of them out in the pasture and got Indy to understand the fact that don't let her drive you off, because when I get out, she's not the boss anymore. I'm the boss. So I've got him corrected to the point now where if she drives him off, because it's no fun to run away by yourself. If they got somebody to run away with, that's all the better. But if I can take him away from her, she'll come right back. So that's what I've done. And Indy's been an angel since I corrected that a few times. If I take the flag out like I'm going to go out and give some corrections and play the catching game with them, they'll Indy says, "Screw you, you old bitch. I'm going over with Dad because close to him is the best place to be." And so he's got that down pat. He he even did it again just a little while ago because when I went up there, she I didn't have my farrier tool or anything. She said, "I don't think I like what he's got in mind today." So she started driving him off, and I got him to come to me. So let's see what happens here. See, that time there, the foot came off the ground and it didn't go forward. I don't know if you could see that from where you are. Maybe not. Again. No, no. Over here. Come forward. Good girl. See, I'm getting so much more of this right now with her, which I like. So it went forward a little bit, but I'm going to see if there's any resistance when I walk back this way. There's some. I could just let it go. So you see how she shifted her weight back? So it's forward again now. And it went forward a little bit there. I don't want to feel that because that forward, that raises hell with a farrier's back. If you wonder why your farrier gets frustrated over that, but see, I just dropped it and she actually stepped backwards. Usually I have to put her foot on the ground. If I put her foot back there, she'll stand back there. But that time I just let it go, and normally if I just let it go, she'll step forward. So already that one tiny correction. She's not a stupid horse, but she certainly can be stubborn. But over here, I really don't want her moving her hindquarters away from me. That doesn't, see, because this foot is tucked. She always tucks it in, which makes it very difficult for me to work on. But see, she didn't take off anywhere. And because we got so many years together, it doesn't take her long to get the idea that I don't like what she's doing. But see, she is a little bit bulged for me. So I'll touch her here and see if she'll tip her head over this way. I don't want you moving your hind feet away. I don't like this. I have no room here. So that's a position where I would bump her with my nippers. You know, because I want this to go over there. She will share space with me if I ask her to just slide her foot down. Like I told you, a lot of horses won't. It's not that she's terrible bad, but because I haven't been doing a lot of trimming, my back muscles, you start to lose your muscular strength. So even now, it's a little tight right there. She'll put it down, but she's still has this shoulder over here. You know, so what I should do is make her do more turns on the hindquarters, driving this shoulder over. And I can do that online, which will help. I mean, I won't bump her face back over this way, but she'll feel, if she turns too much with her head and neck first, she'll feel the tension that I have, because she'll run out of rope. But I'm not going to bump her head back this way. I would just poke her here harder to get her to do this. But you certainly can slingshot them by just letting that energy go and have something else happen out here. So the other thing I'll tell you about here is, because I told you I'm old and I'm tired, I bought a hoof jack. Now, she's not going to like this thing because she doesn't like the sound of hollow plastic underneath. And I could certainly put it up on her back. I told you that, you know, what you focus on, the horse knows exactly where you're going. So if I want to set this down here beside her, it's probably going to make her nervous. But she's already going to get nervous because my focus point is already where I want to put the hoof jack. Well, that's better. But like I said, she doesn't like the sound of hollow plastic, and because I'm using that now, I like to sit down. And some of the people that have complained to me about this are the women that clean up their horses' feet in between trims. They use those things. I've never liked them. For one thing, it gives the horse a crutch to lean on. You know, they'll use that and set their weight down on it because it makes it easier. It's like you or I leaning against a post. The thing is, when you go to take the horse's hoof off of that, and the horse is making you work like a tow truck, that leg, if I touch that leg, it should be, I want that horse responding the same way. When I pick the reins up off your neck, hey, pay attention, something's going to happen here. So if I touch their leg, I want them to pay attention that I'm wanting this leg off of that stand. You know, a lot of people when they're doing stuff like this, they got one thing in mind and they don't pay attention to what they're getting out of their horse. Because I pay attention to all that stuff, and like I said, I don't want to work like a damn tow truck. So she's being quite the angel about me moving this bucket around even today. Because she doesn't like the sound of that hollow plastic. So I can go out behind her, you know, and have a reaction for her leaving. She may go farther this time because you notice, no, she's only just going around the other side of the camera. Get over here. No, now she's going the other way. But see, when you play this catching game in here with a horse, they're going to go one direction for a while. And because they keep getting negative action for the reaction of running that way out behind them, they don't like that. So eventually they're going to try going the other way. So if you got a horse that when you start doing this, they go to the left all the time, just be consistent about it. Come on. So she's pacing the fence down that end because I got Indy. Indy has access to that back pasture again. But there you go. So you can't see what I'm doing. But you say, how's that horse ever going to get used to that? Because my energy, my focus is going across the back side of her. It makes a big difference. You'll never get a horse to be aggressive towards you if the energy is never directed at him. It's like, grabbing a kid and slapping him in the face. Someday that kid might get old enough to the point where you're going to get slapped back. Come on. So if you never address a horse in the face, you'll never end up with an aggressive horse. Come here. Come on. Over here. Well, I don't care which way you go, but see, so me just stopping, that's why I tell you a lot of times with horses, if you just learn to stop, they'll realize that you've stopped. Come here. And the other thing I started to do yesterday too was take a flake of hay and fold it in half and stuff it in this pail so that she'll get used to this dang pail. She won't mess with it, but Indy, he doesn't care about hollow plastic. He'll grab that bale of hay and he'll shake this pail around when she's around. So he's gonna help me desensitize her to having this pail around her and hear it empty. Because it's really funny to watch how he flaps that thing around, because when you've got a flake of hay in there, folded in half, it fits in there nice and tight. No. No. A lot of people would wonder about this, but a lot of people are stupid, ignorant. One woman commented on that video of adopting a Mustang and a little bit about Indy. Because he was reaching forward to grab grass, I pulled on his tail and asked him to back up, and he was resisting me, so I took the brush I was using and I whacked him on the butt with it. Well, you're pulling on his tail and whacking on his butt. I mean, the ignorance in the horse world is unbelievable. So, you know, we'll go out of sight here a little bit because I don't have anybody videotaping. And this may take a little bit of time because, like I said, this is something that has bothered her for years. And I've become tolerant of it because I'd never had to use this. But now that I'm old and tired, I got to use this because I want to rest. I don't want to work so dang hard. But, you know, you see what the pattern has been here. She's been backing out of there. So if I had my training stick here, I'd crack her in the butt for backing up. Come here. No, over here. Turn this way. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I want. See, the more times I can get her to do that, like I said, the catching is no big deal here. But she's going to move away every time I move one of these things around. So if I take my nippers here, I actually should have my training stick. Then I could actually crack her in the butt. See, it only takes, I didn't have to poke her because there's no tension there. Yes, she's afraid, but there's no tension there. If there's no tension, there's no need to poke it hard. You got to understand the difference of what you got. So, you know, I always rub on to give me the acknowledgement of the. Let's see what she does with this situation if I leave her set up like that and I get my pail. So, because she didn't react, I'm going to rub on her to let her know it's fine. And I always rub them here because I want to feel if there's any tension there, and there isn't right now. So this is what I want to be able to do. But the other part of it is, like I said about those women who work on their horse like this, their horses are still tense right in here. You know, when those women are working on, and I'm picking on women here because 80% of horse owners are women. But, you know, if I got done doing this, and see, she's not leaning on that hoof jack whatsoever. If I ask her here, see, her hoof comes off of that hoof jack like nothing. Get those horses that start using this hoof jack as a dang crutch. You know, you'd be over here like this, like a tow truck trying to get their foot off. See, if I lift her foot, it comes right off with no effort whatsoever. You know, and already this video has gotten long, I know, but I can show you what and see what happens in the back. If you want to hang around that long. I don't want to have to use too much pressure to get her foot to get up on that stand either. Let's see if she keeps it there. If I put this here. Well, so like I said, this horse is no dummy. She's been around me for a long time. And when she knows that I'm going to really fix her, she'll pay attention. So same thing when I want that foot off of there. I want it to come off pretty easily without me having to be a dang tow truck in order to get it done. And see, she never got trimmed yesterday because of her antics. And I was already frustrated because, I deal with these comments that I get on YouTube about, that woman. The comments, some of the comments I get, you wouldn't believe. A lot of those stupid people, I just delete the comment now. I used to go back and correct those people, but they're ignorant. They ignore the facts. And I can't fix all the stupid horse owners in the world, but yesterday I was pretty frustrated because I had to deal with some of those comments and how aggravated I get with these ignorant people. So I was already frustrated, and I said, you know something? Don't fix this today. Wait till tomorrow. You'll have a clear mind. You won't be frustrated. Because you don't want to even come in here when you're frustrated. And it's not that I don't get frustrated. I'm human just like everybody else. I get frustrated. But I know the difference between trying to work with a horse when you're frustrated. You can't be. You got to be willing to put yourself in a position to stop doing what you're doing. That's why, people that use these hoof jacks, they're so focused on what they want to get done, they don't pay attention to what the horse is giving me. I'm not getting any tension out of this horse now. So I'm going to trim her like I wanted to yesterday. And because I'm already out here, I'm prepared to do some fixing if I need to do some fixing. If I need to fix a horse, I want him in here. I don't want to have to try to deal with it out there. So that's a long video.